Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be reviewing the Kingston Super 5 from MTD Basses. Let's do this. This is the MTD Kingston Super 5, and today we're going to ask the question, is it really that super? We'll find out. First, let's talk about the bass. This particular model was provided to us as a retail B-stock example with a finish defect, and it was provided on loan to us by MTD, so thank you so much MTD for that. For the body, we have a matte black ash body. This is a carved ash body. There is also a burst finish available with a flamed maple top. They're the same price. I don't believe there's any price hike for the burst finish and the flamed maple. However, the flat black is quite nice looking as well. For the electronics, we have two Music Man style pickups, and each pickup has its own three-way toggle switch for series, parallel, and single coil modes. The pickups are also paired to a 3-band G&B preamp. Now, G&B is an OEM manufacturer that produces preamps for companies like ESP, so it's definitely a high-quality preamp, and you'll hear that when we start playing the bass. For hardware, we have a really nice quick-release bridge that has 19mm spacing, very comfortable all around. And that is finished in a almost like dark chrome, gunmetal-y kind of deal. Looks very nice. For the neck, we have a 35-inch scale, 24 fret with a 0 fret, maple on maple neck. And this is a one-piece maple. Now obviously the fingerboard is separate from the rest of the neck, but you know, the back of the neck, it's all one piece. Very nice and high quality neck. Truss rod access is down at the heel of the neck, where you have a small plate here secured by 2 screws. I personally would have just left it open if it was my bass, but yeah, I didn't really need to adjust the neck in the month that I've had it. It's been a great and stable bass. I've been really enjoying it, in fact. It's an asymmetrical neck as well in terms of the neck profile, which makes it very comfortable. It's a little bit thicker on the B string side versus on the G string side. It's hard to describe and you can't really show it on camera, but it's there and it's very noticeable when you're playing. They're also employing the Buzzfeaton tuning system. I guess it's supposed to make things sound better when you're playing with other people, or I don't know. Either way, when I'm playing chords or I'm playing up on the top of the fretboard, everything sounds very clear and in tune when I'm playing, you know, things on multiple strings. I don't have to constantly fiddle with the intonation. Everything just sounds great. Up at the headstock, we have a 4+1 configuration for these compact tuners. And on the front of the headstock, we have some finish matching the body. Now you may have noticed there's no fret markers on this fingerboard. It is completely blank. You just have the maple. You have fret markers on the side, so you can kind of know where you're at. However, there's nothing on the fingerboard. Take that for what you will. I'm a fan of, you know, the clean look sometimes, and it definitely looks nice in this particular case here. Now, let's go ahead and turn this bass around real quick. Around back, we see a medium-sized control cavity and separate battery compartment. Now, there is no battery door. This is just a small plate secured with 2 screws, and the control cavity has a 3-screw plate. So decently easy to access, though I did have a difficult time trying to fiddle that door open. So I wish that there was a quick-release battery door or something that would make a battery swap easier. That being said, you know, battery swaps aren't necessarily the most common thing. It's not like, you know, you're swapping batteries every, you know, week or something, unless you're literally leaving your bass plugged in, which don't do that if you have an active bass. That's not smart. That's wasteful. No. Lobster doesn't approve. Around back, you can also really see how small the body is on this bass. It's a very compact instrument. And you have the neck heel like right here, and then the end of the body is right here. So you have a ton of upper fret access. I mean, there's really nothing getting in your way when you're playing up to the 24th fret. You just have so much room for activities.
So many activities! Do step class? It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
In regards to weight, this bass comes in at 9 pounds on the dot. And that is actually quite lightweight for a 5-string instrument that's fully featured, especially with an ash body. Some ash-bodied instruments like, you know, the Ray 34 can get into the 10, 11 plus pounds, so very nice on keeping the weight down here. Now, how much does the MTD Kingston Super 5 cost? These basses retail for $11.49, which is definitely on the middle of the price road for a import bass. People may scoff at, oh, it's made in China, it's so expensive, but, I have my Dingwall here that's, like $2,500 and made in China, and that is a spectacular instrument. And in terms of build quality, this is definitely at the same level of craftsmanship as the Dingwall here. It's very high quality and very premium feeling. Now, I know you guys are wondering, what does this bass sound like? You guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my handle turn back to normal. Thanks. Whew. Yeah, this is a very, very, very comfortable and fast neck to play. With the 1 3/4 inch nut width and this asymmetrical profile, it just fits the hand so nicely and just encourages you to go to town. This is nice. Oh, kind of got in a little trance there, but yeah, this is a very, very nice instrument. So as I mentioned, we have toggle switches for each pickup for series, single coil, and parallel. What you've heard thus far is both pickups in parallel mode. I'll go through all the different combinations a little bit later in the video, but let's start out by checking out these pickups individually first, and then we'll play with the preamp. Let's start out with the neck pickup. That's this guy over here, which is still pretty far back. These pickups are sandwiched together and very far back in the body. No wasted space here in terms of ergonomics or just, there's either pickup or body that's supporting the bass on your body, but like, there's not much else. This is very well designed. Oh man, yeah, this is a fun bass. This is so fun. Oh man, yeah. So that is the neck pickup here. You're not going to get a P bass tone out of this. You're not. So if you're coming into this bass expecting it to be a Swiss Army knife of tones in terms of dishing out a P bass, a jazz bass, Stingray, this isn't going to do it. But it does have a huge variety of tones, and they all sound just so good. So that was the neck pickup in parallel. Let's check out single coil now, which is going to be the outside coil, this one right here. Gonna get a little bit of hum, single coil. There's no third coil to, cancel it in single coil mode, so it is what it is, but these pickups are hum canceling in single coil mode when you have both engaged together. We'll show you that a little bit later. As for now, single coil mode, neck pickup. I could probably raise the action of that B string just a smidge, but it still sounds great and very well defined. It's 35-inch scale, of course, but it does it well. Finally, here is the neck pickup with series mode engaged as opposed to parallel. It's going to have a bit more kick, and here's what that sounds like. Very nice, very nice. All three pickup modes sound great, and I'm definitely enjoying all the the unique voices of each. And keep in mind, you can switch this for each individual pickup, so loads of combinations here. Now let's go over to the bridge pickup. Right now that's engaged in parallel. Here's what that sounds like. Very nice, very nice. So that was parallel. Next is single coil mode. That is the outside coil, so the one closest to the bridge in this instance. Here's what that sounds like. Very nice, very nice. And finally here is series mode for the bridge pickup. Yeah. This is a fun bass. This is a very fun bass. Now let's go ahead and bring the neck pickup back into the mix. Here's both of the pickups in parallel mode. Again, everything has been with the EQ centered thus far. We'll talk about the EQ more in a bit, but first let's just play with the three-way selectors for each of these pickups with both pickups engaged. First, everything in parallel. Next, we're going to engage the neck pickup in single coil mode. Now, single coil mode of all three has the most definition and clarity, as I would call it. So we're going to have that in the neck pickup with the front bank of magnets engaged, and the bridge pickup is going to be in parallel. Here's that. And here's the neck pickup in series mode with the bridge pickup in parallel. Now let's do that all again, except the bridge pickup is going to be in single coil mode, neck pickup in parallel. Now we're going to have both pickups in single coil mode. They are now hum canceling, and you have the outer banks of magnets engaged on both. Almost like a jazz bass, but everything is a bit more squished towards the bridge. Here's what that sounds like. And next, we're going to have the neck pickup in series mode with the bridge pickup in single coil. And finally, here's the last three combinations. So the bridge pickup is now going to be in series. We're going to start with the neck pickup in parallel. Next, the neck pickup in single coil with the bridge pickup in series. And finally, both in series. So there you have it, all the different pickup combinations. This is a very flexible instrument, but again, you're not going to be getting the, generic P bass tone, jazz bass tone, etc. It has tones all its own, and there's lots of them. Because of the pickup placement, it almost sounds like a Warwick thumb almost, and it's like nasally kind of trebly tone, but it sounds great, and it's not too like grating or anything, which is nice. Everything you've heard was with the preamp centered. There is no preamp bypass or passive tone control. That works okay in this particular preamp, and I'll show you why. For testing the preamp, I'm going to keep the pickups in single coil mode and the blend centered, and we're going to just go through all the preamp functionality. Now, one little thing that did get past QC is the bass control and the mid control are just switched in their spots. It would take like 2 seconds to fix, just remove the control and just switch it. But I just wanted to say that did get past. Not a big deal though. It's not going to take any modification or soldering and only 3 minutes of my time. I'm not going to fix it though because this isn't my bass, but I did want to mention that. So just a small potato, but keep in mind that all of these instruments are QC'd in New York by MTD. So these aren't being mass produced in a factory out of China and just shipped to your door without any sort of oversight or quality control. These are very high quality instruments. First, here's the preamp centered one more time with the pickups in single coil mode. Now let's bring everything down 100%. So this is the preamp completely cut. First, let's take the bass control, which is the middle one, which it should be this one, but unless that's the default configuration, hey, no hating there, but here's the bass control at center with the treble control and the mid control at full cut. Next, let's bring the treble control up to center. So we have the bass and treble centered, the mids at full cut. And let's go ahead and boost the bass to about 50%, leaving the treble centered. Okay, let's bring the bass back down to center and bring the mids up to about 50%, leaving the bass and treble centered. Very nice, very nice. So the mid control is definitely not overbearing or over-consuming. However, the bass control definitely controls the body of the sound that you're going to get here. If we keep the treble at center and the mids at 50%, I'm going to go ahead and cut the bass entirely. Here's what that sounds like. So with the bass cut, you're definitely losing out on the full body of the sound. However, that just shows the flexibility of this EQ in this instrument. I would personally leave the bass control centered most of the time, if not a little bit boosted, but this is definitely, you know, a full sounding instrument. And with that very bright sound, like a Warwick thumb almost, this is definitely going to be cutting through a mix. So as you can see, the bass control is really what controls the, you know, the body of the instrument here. The mid control controls, you know, that grit and growl, and then the treble control, if we bring that all the way up, is that zing at the top. So as you can see, this preamp is definitely not overly heavy-handed when boosting either the bass or the treble controls, or even the mids. You're getting a lot of definition, a lot of clarity, and a lot of flexibility in your tone without being too boomy or too harsh. So very well done with the preamp here. This is very nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and center everything up, and let's go ahead and just play this with a pick a little bit, see what it sounds like. I'm going to have my trusty Dunlop felt pick here, and here goes nothing. Still working on that. Honestly, this is kind of tough to play with the pick because, you know, the pickups are right there and you only have a little bit of space over here. I wouldn't really recommend this for pick playing. I'm not a pick player though, so, you know, feel free to say I'm wrong because I probably am, but this is great for fingerstyle, however, and you have tons of access with the neck to the upper registers, and you can kind of just go wherever. It glides over this satin finish here, and it just feels nice. And now, how does she slap? I'd say she slaps quite well, quite well. Again, it's going to sound, you know, much more in the like Stingray-ish kind of territory with the pickups way back here versus something like, you know, a true jazz bass or a precision bass, which is going to have a bit, you know, meatier tone, I guess is the term. But overall, this is a great sounding bass. It plays nice. I really enjoy it. Now, let's go ahead and throw some drums behind this bass. Oops. So here are my final thoughts on the MTD Kingston Super 5. This is an awesome bass. For $11.49, you're getting a very nice instrument that's very easy to play, has tons of tonal flexibility, is made of high quality parts, and from a reputable manufacturer. And yes, you do get tons of tonal flexibility. However, this isn't the jack of all trades in terms of, you know, being able to emulate like a jazz bass and a P bass. It definitely gets the Stingray thing going quite nicely, but outside of that, if you're not looking for that type of tone, you're probably going to want to look elsewhere. However, if you want that type of tone and you like what you heard in this video, I like what I heard. This bass is definitely a great deal and a great value. It feels great. It sounds great. Again, you know, small potatoes with that little knob mix-up. They do all their quality control in New York, so I think it's just something small that passed through. Not that big a deal. It's not like any soldering has to be done or anything, so... Anyways, great bass here. This is in my opinion, very solid value, especially compared to other basses that you're getting in the price point. You have a ton of tonal flexibility and modding options as well. Speaking of modding, I have to mention that I have another one of these basses that's been modified in-house by MTD with USA Bartolini pickups, a USA Bartolini MTD preamp, and hipshot hardware all around. We'll be doing a separate comparison video with that bass and this bass, as well as a separate in-depth video on that bass. Keep an eye out for that in the future. But now, I know you guys are wondering, what am I going to rate the MTD Kingston Super 5? Yeah! I'm going to go ahead and rate this bass 4 claws out of 5. This is a very, very good bass. This is a very quality instrument. It's high quality, well built. The neck feels amazing. It's very easy to navigate. The controls are very easy to navigate as well. Overall, I think this is a very, very solid bass. I guess my only real gripes with this instrument are the control cavity and battery cavity access. For the battery cavity, I wish they used a battery door so you could replace the battery a bit easier, and I wish there was maybe a little notch or something to get your finger under the plastic to open up the control cavity, because where it is right now, it's kind of difficult to open. I had to use the plastic is still on there because I'm not going to start peeling things that's not mine, but I had to use the plastic to kind of pry it off, but yeah, it's a little tight to open, so those are my only two real complaints. Other than that, this is just a solid bass that has a ton of different tones, sounds great, plays great. I could definitely recommend this instrument. So that will do it for the MTD Kingston Super 5. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the MTD Kingston Super 5. And as always, until we groove again.